A sunset walk on Seminyak Beach, and a few honest money lessons we've learned the hard way. I'm blending our walk with the key mindset shifts that helped make early retirement in Bali possible. Let's talk. So there I am in 2005, starting my own business with with 3 other partners. We created a home improvement business. It was a franchise. Because of the housing market doing so well, like we thought home improvement, it's recession proof, right? Oh, so we know what happened next. I'm Debbie, and this is my 81-year-old mom, Linda. We're retired and living in Bali, sharing this journey with all of you who consistently show up for us. Just want to thank you all so much. Your support reminds us every day that we're not alone on this path. You're walking it right alongside us. At the stern. So we are right now going, where are we going? We're going to the beach. What are you doing, Mom?
I don't know. I just...
Lesson number 1, every raise doesn't mean you have to spend more. In 2007, I bought a house. I had a Mercedes. I was flying high, but I was working 7 days a week. That was my life. The more I worked, the more money I made, the more I spent. 2008, the stock market started to crash, right? My anxiety was off the charts. I was so scared, so nervous. I walked around like the bottom was going to fall out. And my house lost value. My Mercedes started, acting up, and I realized how much it cost to get it repaired. It's not that I regret buying the house. I just kept upgrading my life without fully understanding the long-term consequences. The real lesson? A bigger life isn't always a better one, especially if it comes at a cost of your peace of mind. Number 2, know what enough looks like. This shifted for me because the more money I made, the more money I spent, the more, without even ever asking, when is it enough for me? I have a lot of friends that like designer things, and they're my Joneses, keeping up with the Joneses. They like to buy designer bags, have nice cars, and, because they like luxury items. And I felt like I needed to fit in. And boy, I realized that the debt did not ever bring me happiness, ever. So when I moved here, luxury stopped for me, even though I'm in this nice house because I upgraded it. But it's still cheaper, 1/3 cheaper than I would be spending in America. $660 a month is how much I spend a month. Versus this would cost me more than $1,800 a month. This would probably cost me $2,500 a month, maybe $3,000 a month. Yes, California is very expensive, but that's where my friends are. That's where my luxury friends are. And now that I'm aware, it turns out enough is less than I thought, and it's a lot more peaceful. Number 3, track your spending, even if it looks ugly. I was ignoring what I was spending my money on, and it didn't protect me. It just delayed the anxiety. The awareness changed everything. I write down everything I spend just so that I know what I'm spending my money on. I actually make a monthly budget. When I finally faced the numbers, I wasn't trying to be perfect. I just wanted to understand where my energy was going. Once I saw where my money was really going, I realized how much I could have been saving all along without even feeling a difference. Something else I had to consider, what is my money story? Like, what do I keep telling myself about money? And when I stopped and thought about it, I realized that it has been a reoccurring thought for as long as I can remember. I used to believe I didn't have enough to survive and that life would always be hard. I thought I had to push, hustle, and strive just to make ends meet. But I've released that old story again and again, constantly releasing it, so that I can allow ease, receive support, and welcome abundance into my life with trust and openness. I think I mentioned in my first video I ever did here was talking about how I read The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And in there, it talks about daily affirmations. And one affirmation I want to share with you that really helped me: the money I have and the money I receive is enough. I am safe, supported, and provided for. I deserve a life of financial ease, and I welcome it with gratitude and trust. And you have to shift your money story. So instead of it being, I'm never going to have enough, I'm always going to be poor, I'm always going to think this, I'm always going to think that, change your money story. Somehow, I have enough. I'm, making enough money. Everything's enough, enough, enough. Changing from lack to satisfaction. So I said before in another video, health is actually wealth. I've come to see health as the most undervalued asset we have, because without it, nothing else we build can really be enjoyed. You can save for decades, chase success, even retire early, but if your body and mind are breaking down, what's it all for? In the end, real wealth is feeling good enough to live fully, not just long. Where you live changes your financial reality. Before I moved here, I was living in a small room in my friend's house, and I had lived there for 4 years. And I had a house and I rented it out. But to be honest with you, Bali changed everything for me. It's not necessarily just the scenery or the lifestyle, it's how far my money goes. If I'm only spending $1,300 a month, that's freedom. That, like, I can breathe again. That feels good. So that's why I'm here. That's why Mom lives here too. It's not that she prefers it over the United States, but here she doesn't have to worry about money anymore. And that peace of mind means everything. Look at the camera.
The biggest lesson that I've learned sitting here at almost 82 years old is I wish I had planned for today back yesterday. Back in the day when I made money and I spent money, and I never thought about today. I never thought about the consequences of saving. I could have, in fact, I did. But then every job that I quit or was let go of, I just cashed in the 401. I wish I had kept some of the inheritance that I got from my grandparents or my Aunt Olga. I wish I had just kept some of it, but I didn't. And I look back now, and I think one of the reasons is that I was always rewarding myself. Because growing up, my first 12 years of life, finances were very difficult for my parents. And they both worked. In fact, my dad had 2 jobs. And things were financially, they were very, very tight. And anything that I wanted, I couldn't get, because I would always heard, we can't afford it. We just can't afford it. And they didn't even go, we'd like to give it to you if we could afford it. And I didn't get even one of those. It's just that we can't afford it. So when I started making money, I started rewarding myself. And I never said no to me. Now, I hear my daughter always say, Mom, do you need that? And sometimes I go, no, I don't. And then other times I go, yeah, I do. So it's a push-pull, even at my age of almost 82. Come September. And that's what I've learned. That's one of the biggest lessons, is that savings for a rainy day never occurred, because it never rains in Southern California. I think there was a song like that. But it does rain. But my point is that I never did save. I just spent. In fact, I spent more than I had. So when that time came that I had to do an emergency, like seeing the dentist, I just charged it. And I charged so much that I got to the point where the charges were more than I could possibly pay monthly. But that's another story.
Is happiness doesn't cost as much as you think. This is the biggest one, because I used to think that joy was expensive. Like you had to travel and you had to have upgrades and, you got the new iPhone or whatever it is. Now it's just a shared meal, a quiet morning, feeling safe. Yes, I traveled to another country, but the real joy came from embracing experiences, not collecting things. One thing I didn't do, and I wish I had done earlier, was create a plan. How much am I going to need to be able to live comfortably for the rest of my life, even if I don't have any other streams of income coming in? Well, that's an open ended question. Yes, comfort shifts. Inflation rises, life changes, emergencies happen. But even if I map out my expenses down to the last cent, what works this year may not stretch far enough next year. I couldn't predict the future, but making a simple plan gave me the confidence to retire early, move to Bali, and create a life that truly feels mine. Create the plan. Don't aim for perfection, aim for clarity. A good plan gives you structure, but also room to adjust. Because while you can't control inflation, market dips, or global chaos, you can control your mindset, your habits, and the plan you build to weather them. I couldn't have moved to Bali without a plan. And yes, costs have gone up since I got here, but I'm still on track to live within my means. My mom is too. So don't get stuck chasing a moving number. Instead, create the plan that moves with you, a plan that anchors you in the present, and trust that your clear mind and calm choices will guide you through the whatever comes next. Because peace of mind doesn't come from knowing the future. It comes from knowing you're already ready for it. Thank you so much for spending this time with us and letting us into your home, virtually anyway. We're so grateful for this little community. Now it's your turn. What's the one money lesson that stuck with you? Tell us in the comments. We'd really love to hear it.